Oh, God. That was sick. I don't know how well I didn't think I even got a hook hook. Might be an upgrade too. Yeah, I think so. Oh man, he spoiled that bro.
Chasing man, you show us how to perform. Well, your style's been changed because we're so vain, but you'll take a sunset for stone. Look out, honey, you're bad.
Well, get those life vest zifting clips, strap down those rods, and stow away those tackle bags because we are going fishing. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Tour Talk. I'm your host, Keith Niswanger, and in this episode, we're going to get you caught up on all the latest tour news. Most folks think of this as the off-season for professional anglers, but if anything, it really is the in-season from the standpoint that this is the time of year when pros get deals done. This is the time of year when boats get reassembled. This is the time of year when tackle inventories are taken care of, all in preparation for the upcoming season. But first, I want to remind you to please subscribe to this channel. If you like the stuff we're doing here, please make sure you subscribe. If you have questions, comments, other things about what we're doing, drop us a comment down below. We want to hear from you. By now, I'm sure you know we are the Western representatives for ducket fishing. You know these guys, the strongest pro staff in all professional tour fishing. We are adding new dealerships every week, it seems. If you have a tackle shop or if you know one that we should call on, please let us know. Send us a DM or go to our website, BassTourAnglers.com, and send us an email. We would love to tell you about the ducket fishing lineup of pro-driven rods, reels, and baits. The 2021 tour season is over, and congratulations to Dakota Hebert. He is the Bass Tour Anglers Podcast Angler of the Year. He has led seemingly from start to finish. He fished a lot of events this year. He competes not only on the Major League Fishing Pro Circuit, but he also fishes, I think, almost all the Toyota Series events. He might have missed one or two. But he compiled 754 points over the course of the season, and he is our champion. You can stay tuned to a future edition of this podcast when we will be presenting him with his Champions Trophy. It's still being constructed. Taking a look at the Bass Tour Anglers Podcast Angler of the Year Top 10, obviously we've talked about Dakota Hebert with his 754 points. Jacob Prosnick competed in all 9 open events this year. He was determined to get himself a spot back on the BASS Elite Series Tour, and he has done that. He finishes with 684 points. Patrick Walters, a BASS Elite Series Pro, who also fishes virtually all of the opens. I think he fished every open this season as well. Masasaki Matsushita, a Japanese angler, also fished the opens this year. He finished with 628 points. In 5th is Michael Neal. He finishes with 620 points. Neal is a Major League Fishing Bass Pro Tour pro who also fishes the Major League Fishing Pro Circuit, which is where he compiled a lot of his points. He finishes in 5th with 620. David Williams, another pro who qualified for the Elite Series this year by fishing all of the BASS Open events. He finishes with 612 points. Daisuke Aoki fished the Opens this year, also qualified to fish the 2022 Elite Series. He finishes with 610 points. In 8th place, Sam George. He's a Major League Fishing Pro Circuit pro who also fishes the Toyota Series events. He finishes with 604 points. Cody Huff qualifies for the Elite Series by fishing the Opens this year. He is our 9th place angler with 556 points. And of course, John Cox, who fished the BASS Elite Series, who fished the Major League Fishing Bass Pro Tour, and who finished the Major League Fishing Pro Circuit. 3 big pro circuits this year. He finishes in 10th overall with 543 points. We will be introducing our 2022 Bass Tour Anglers Podcast Angler of the Year schedule in an upcoming episode of Tour Talk. But you can bet that we will again include the BASS Elite Series. We will include the Major League Fishing Bass Pro Tour. We'll include the Major League Fishing Bass Pro Circuit. We will, of course, include the BASS Opens, all of the open events. We will also include the Major League Fishing Toyota Series events. We will include the Wild West Bass Tour in the Western United States. We will also include the WAN Bass Tour in the Western United States. We always include the tours that the top pros fish. Who are the top pros, you might ask? Well, the top pros are the Elite Series anglers, the BASS Elite Series anglers, and the Major League Fishing Bass Pro Tour pros. And we absolutely follow them, but we also follow all the circuits that these pros fish. A lot of these pros fish the Major League Fishing Bass Pro Circuit. A lot of these pros fish the BASS Opens, and many of them also fish other events as well. And we try to include all of those events in our Bass Tour Anglers Podcast Angler of the Year Championship, which is what we have been doing all year this year. If you know of another circuit, that may be regional to the area that you live in, that some of these pros fish, let us know. Drop us a comment in the comment section below, and we'll be sure to include that tour as well. We want to name the pro that is worthy of being called the Bass Tour Anglers Podcast Angler of the Year. You have to fish multiple tours. You have to do what you're supposed to do, and that is fish professional tournaments. So again, if you know of any other tours that we should include in our criteria, let us know.
Change. It's inevitable. To improve, you must adapt. The sport is evolving. A paradigm shift is a fundamental change of basic concepts. Don't get left behind. Introducing Paradigm. Paradigm Reels by Duckett Fishing. Pro-driven.
The pro tours have announced their rosters, or at least announced who they have invited into their tours next year. First of all, we'll take a look at the Bass Pro Tour. The Bass Pro Tour is adding 6 new anglers. First of all, Ryan Salzman of Huntsville, Alabama. He is qualified via the Major League Fishing Pro Circuit. Cole Floyd out of Leesburg, Ohio, has also qualified. Ron Nelson out of Barron Springs, Michigan, has qualified. Clavion Johns of Social Circle, Georgia, has qualified. Jeremy Lawyer of Sarcoxie, Missouri, has also qualified. And there is one other angler that has qualified. However, we're going to hold off on announcing that. Major League Fishing has not officially announced their tour pros yet. And to be fair, I want to make sure we wait until they make that official. But I have it on very good authority that there was one other angler that has been invited and has accepted a spot on the Bass Pro Tour. The Bass Pro Tour next year will have a full 80 anglers, and 6 of them have qualified. 6 new anglers have qualified to fish that tour as a result of finishing high enough in the Major League Fishing Pro Circuit to be invited. Taking a look at the BASS Elite Series roster, that has been announced as well. The BASS Elite Series will feature 95 anglers in 2022. The field started in 2021 with 100 anglers. Not everybody competed in all the events, but in 2022 we have a solid 95 pros that have been announced starting the season as BASS Elite Series pros. First of all, let's take a look at the anglers that were eliminated either by their standing in 2021 or because they are moving on to other things. So some of these anglers just did not make the cut. Some of them have decided to do something else in 2022. Brian Snowden, Randy Pearson, Bill Wiedler, Quentin Capo, Rob Dye, Robbie Latuso, Kelly J, Tyler Carrier, Shane Leinberger, Kyle Monte, Chris Groh, Yasuke Miyazaki, Randy Sullivan, Rick Morris, Destin Demarion, Garrett Paquette, Cody Howland, Dale Hightower, Harvey Horn, Brett Pruitt will not be fishing the BASS Elite Series Tour in 2022. Who are the rookies? Who is coming in? Let's take a look at that list now. Daisuke Aoki, who has qualified through the Bassmaster Opens. Josh Douglas also qualifies for the Elites via the Bassmaster Opens. Jacob Fouts, also an open angler. Cody Huff through the Opens. Mike Iaconelli. He said he was going to do it. He told us here on our podcast he was going to do it.
You are fishing the BASS Northern Opens this year, and with one event left, you are second in the points race. Yes. Is this something you're trying to requalify for the Elites for next year, possibly?
100%, absolutely. 100% to finish in the top 5 in points and requalify for the Elites.
And he went out and did it. He finished in the top 3 via the Northern Opens, and Mike Iaconelli has accepted and will be on the Elite Series in 2022. That is already going to add so much more drama to that field. It'll be a lot of fun. Jonathan Kelly has qualified via the Bassmaster Opens. Masayuki Matsushita from Japan has also qualified via the Opens. Jacob Prosnick, who used to be an Elite Series pro, then became a Major League Fishing Bass Pro Tour angler, and then decided to go back and requalify, has done so. He's qualified via the Opens, and he will be, I don't know, are we calling him a rookie for 2022? I guess because he's back. Do we call him a rookie? That's a good question. We're going to have to get some clarification on whether or not Mike Iaconelli, Jacob Prosnick are going to be considered rookies on the Elite Series Tour next year. We have Jay Prescott. He's out of Stevens Point, Wisconsin. Alex Redwine from Blue Ash, Ohio. Joseph Webster from Winfield, Alabama. All from the Bassmaster Opens. David Williams, he was Angler of the Year on the Central Bass Open Series this year. He qualifies for the Elite Series. And Matty Wong from Ventura, California, who qualified via the 2021 TNT Fireworks Bass Nation Championship. That rounds off your field of, I guess we're calling them all rookies, but these are the new additions to the BASS Elite Series Tour. Now, which of these rookies is going to make their presence felt this season? Drop us a comment down below. Let us know who you think is going to make the biggest tour impression this year on the Elite Series. I'm going to go out on a limb here, and I'm going to say I think Mike Iaconelli and Jacob Prosnick will be dominant from the very first event. Let me just tell you, I'm sure you feel the way I feel, but the BASS Elite Series just got a huge bump in in intrigue for this upcoming season simply by adding the name Michael Iaconelli to the roster. Mike has a way of doing this everywhere he goes. People want to see what's going on. It's kind of like adding Tiger Woods to a pro golf tour. Tiger Woods may not be the golfer that he once was, but you add his name to an event and it automatically gets people's attention. Well, I happen to think Mike Iaconelli is still the angler that he used to be. Anybody who can jump in to those Northern Opens and qualify just like that, kind of an, oh, by the way, I think I'll go back and qualify for the BASS Elite Series. He's still on his game. You know he is, and he is going to add drama, absolute drama, and will make that Elite Series very compelling. And again, I also think Jacob Prosnick is the same kind of angler. Jacob may not have the flash and the sizzle that Mike Iaconelli brings with him, but Prosnick is an amazing angler, and he will make his presence felt. Absolutely. Really compelling as well to me. I want to see how Matty Wong does. Not only is Matty Wong a neighbor here in Southern California where I am, but this guy is making a quantum leap from being essentially a Bass Club angler to an Elite Series pro. I am looking forward to seeing how he makes this transformation, not only in the fishing. I think the fishing is the easy part. I want to see how he goes about adding sponsors and how he goes about dealing with that in the business end, so to speak, if you will, of the fishing industry. I have no doubt that Matty Wong is a very sellable force. I mean, if you know him, you know that he exudes personality. He is absolutely the kind of person that you would want as a company representing your products. He's going to get the stage now. He's going to get the platform to be out there. And so I'm really looking forward not only to seeing how he does. I do think that he will do fine with the fishing end of it, but I want to see the impact he has on the industry. I think the industry is in for something really exciting with Matty Wong. And that's not to say that these other guys aren't deserving of the attention, but unlike Luke Duncan, these guys aren't all my buddies, so I don't know them all that well. But I do know Matt, and I do think Matt is going to make a big splash. So that'll be a lot of fun to watch. That's going to do it for this week's edition of Tour Talk. A reminder, if you want to see someone interviewed, if there's an issue in pro fishing that you think needs fixing, I can think of a dozen or so. Or if there's a subject that you want to see us talk about, drop us a comment down below and we will get on it. Until next time, keep those live vests zipped and clipped, stay safe, and we will talk to you again very soon.